Okay, so we're traveling through the Rocky Mountain front, central Montana, which really represents what Montana is when people think about Montana, sometimes I think. We're actually going to be headed toward Tiber Dam, Tiber Reservoir, and it was a beautiful spot, so I'll show you that toward the end of the video. But here you get a chance to see central Montana. Yep, those are real cowboys doing their job. A lot of country to travel out there. This video may be short, and I only have glimpses of the area, but it took us about 8 hours to get over to Tiber Dam. So Deerborn Crossing is a famous crossing. Lewis and Clark talk about it in their journals. And the country is just beautiful, and of course the fall colors are starting to come out. But as you can see, there's not a whole lot around in this part, and places that were there are kind of getting even more desolate. I've tried to photograph some of the highlights, and you'll notice I have some notes on the recording here as we go along. So yes, we're almost to Augusta, but before you get to Augusta, here it is. This is the Midway Hutterite community, and they come down to Twin Bridges, and they go to other places too, but this is where the chickens are raised and a lot of the eggs. It's a huge operation, and we're really quite fortunate to have them in Montana because they provide some excellent produce for people here in Montana and maybe elsewhere too. So I thought that was pretty interesting to see that they're way up here and how far they travel every day or every week to provide food for people. Along the way, that concrete snow fence we just saw is pretty amazing. So there's Augusta, pretty little town. Now that is what you call the Rocky Mountain front. The Bob Wilderness is in there. Now we're driving through Augusta, very small town. It never really got populated. Well, for one thing, the weather is pretty extreme. It's an extremely windy area of Montana. And the railroad never actually came through Augusta. Instead, it went to the neighboring town of Gilman, which nothing much exists anymore in Gilman. But this gives you a great example of what a classic small western town used to look like in Montana. And it still is like that. But see, the population is very small, 215 people approximately. Maybe it's more now, I'm not sure. Didn't get to spend much time here, but it was fun to be able to drive through it. It is a place I wouldn't mind going back and spending some time around there because you're quite close to Glacier National Park, actually. Keep going further north and to the west. So there are a lot of abandoned buildings along the way and other buildings. I don't even know what they are. Now this is really interesting. This is Egg Mountain. This is where they found the largest catch of dinosaur eggs. And that's actually right where they did the digging. So Jack Horner and Bob Michaela, paleontologists, you probably know the name Jack Horner from Jurassic Park. So this is where the dinosaurs roamed. This is actually where they found the largest concentration of adult dinosaur skeletons, and there are museums around the area. In fact, right here, we're entering Shoto, and there's a great museum. We didn't get a chance to go in there, but it's part of the dinosaur trail. And Shoto is also a really nice small town, Montana. We drove through it a little bit so you can get some visuals of what it looks like. Now, mind you, this is a nice fall day. It's a really cold place and windy. Those winds just rush through all the time. Now, this is some of the outlying country. That is First Peoples Butte. We are heading over to, we had to take this exit. Gordon doesn't really exist. We went through Brady, though. This is another small town. We know some people here, so we just wanted to drive through it and check it out. It's just a quick look. Give you an idea what some of these north central Montana towns look like. Not a lot of people live here because it's really cold and the climate's pretty harsh most of the year. Well, that's about the end of Brady, Montana, and now we actually do head up toward Conrad. Of course, this is also oil country because of all the dinosaurs. And you see a lot of silos. I didn't get any footage of Conrad. Someday we'll go up there and show you that town. This is the road toward Ledger. In fact, Ledger is right around here. There's the school that the kids would have gone through who live in this area. And believe me, there is not a lot going on out here. Big wheat fields and farm country. And the ranches are far and few between. I don't know what that building is. There's some odd stuff out here. And it's kind of interesting traveling. I mean, it's long. And that's why a lot of people don't go up here, because there's not much between places, although it is interesting in its own right. We traveled 13 miles on this dirt road to get to Tiber Reservoir, and here it is coming up now. We had no idea what to expect because we have never been up this way around the reservoir. How about that? Living in Montana for 50 years, we were never up here. So it was a nice, pleasant surprise. We spent 2 nights here. And by the way, these are about the only trees in sight around the reservoir. Down below the dam, which you'll see in my next video, there are more trees. One of the really interesting things about this dam, Tiber Dam, which is right there, you can see parts of it. In my next video, I'll show you more of it. But it is only one of 2 dams made with all natural materials from the area. So the other one is Fort Peck. I thought that was really interesting because it doesn't have all the cement and concrete around it like typically you would see. So here's kind of an expanse of the reservoir. It was really much bigger than I expected. There's a lot of fish in here. A bunch of fish I've never even heard of, some kind of weird looking ones. Well, here we are finally enjoying some relaxing time. We're all set up to hang out for a little bit, and we really enjoyed the scenery. We were so fortunate because there was no wind, absolutely no wind, which is rare up here in this part of the world. Usually there's a lot of wind, so we didn't realize how lucky we were, and then also because it's off season and everybody's back doing their work and school thing, there wasn't much going on around here, so we pretty much had this whole area to ourselves. Check it out. Hope you enjoy some of the sights here. Okay, the sun is going down quickly, and I'm going to pick up where I left off the next morning so I can show you more of the dam and on the other side of the dam, because it's really interesting. But look at this beautiful sunset we got to enjoy. The colors were just stunning. So I hope you are enjoying these kinds of videos. Think about subscribing and do like. And if you have any comments or questions, let us know. Travels with Lucky. Thanks for watching.